Hey, so today we have a 2003 Hyundai Santa Fe. Customer has a broken handle. See the front part is broken. It's still functional, but broken. So we're going to go ahead and replace this handle. So what we're going to be doing is removing the door panel so we can access the handle from behind. We'll have a couple rods connecting the latch going to the handle inside and stuff. So we'll go ahead and remove the door panel and start the procedure. All right, so to remove the door panel, we have some hidden bolts. We have a cover right here. We'll just use a little flathead screwdriver to go in the groove to remove it. There's a couple on the outside. These are screws. They're covered. We have one in the center. I have another one here. So we'll go ahead and remove all those. We should be able to pop the door panel off once they're removed. All right, so we have all of them removed. Just go ahead, there's a little spot right here we can fit our fingers in. Ooh. We got one more over here on the top. Looks like maybe taking this one off might make it easier. Or not. Right. So with that one off, there we go. All right, so we have a couple plugs in the back. Right there was the clip on that one. Another one right here. And then one to lower with the light. Okay. And this is that lip that we had to lift off. It was on the channel here, and that's why we lifted it up. Okay, so here we have the vapor barrier. Very carefully, so we can reinstall it, we want to peel it back. Looks like this one has been on a couple times, on and off. To get our hand in here, this is the handle we're going to be after. So we have one bolt we can get through here, a 10 millimeter. There's another 10 millimeter. We want to remove this cover. All right, so we have one rod we need to disconnect. We're just going to push the clip back and now release it so that we can pull it out of the pen. So there's released and then pushed back. Now we did make note how this wire is ran right here. We're in between the rod and the window track. That's the same way we want to loop it back around. All right, so now we're going to remove those two bolts. So we do have one more rod and clip going to the back side of the lock cylinder. We have not disconnected that one. We did the one for the handle. Once we remove these bolts, we should be able to pop the handle out far enough. It should be some kind of clip holding the lock in, and we can slip the old lock out of the old part and then slip it into the new part without disconnecting that. So we have both of our bolts. Go around to the front side. All right, so now we're going to pull the lock out. Since we removed that lower bolt is what holds the lock mechanism in. So it's held in with that bolt hole right there. So there's our other connector. There's where we had the connection. So this will just slide right into the new one and accept the same bolt hole to hold it in. All right, so here we have our new one from Auto Parts Direct U. And now this wasn't painted, so if you were going to have it painted, you would want to do this prior to the installation. This customer is not really concerned about the color. So we just want to make sure we hold them up to each other. Everything looks the same, all the same mounting. We have our seal. Everything looks good. So we'll go ahead and install the new handle. All right, so put the top in first, and then we put the bottom in. All right, so we clipped in. There's our lock. We'll go ahead and put those screws in. So now we have the inside bolted up. We just want to make sure that our seal and everything is like it should be. It's fitting in the groove. Everything lines up. We don't have anything attached yet, so nothing's working there. Our key went back in. It's mounted flush. Everything looks as normal. So we'll go ahead now and we'll make the connection for the handle. All right, so we have that one connection, the rod going up we want to make. Now we do want to lay this wire, came off of the lock cylinder. So basically we want to go around the window track, because we need to go on the other side of the window track and come back around so that when the window rolls down, it doesn't pinch. We just can't go right there because the window would pinch it. We have to go around the track. Not only do we have to go around the track, we have this rod here too. So we're going to go in between that rod and the track. So laying the wiring harness in first, and then putting the rod connection in for space is probably a better way to do it. You could probably do it the other way. You just may have to fight a little bit. So we'll take, this is off of it. So now we're going to wrap it on the back side and around. I do feel the other rod floating around, so I'm just making sure that I'm in between the two. All right, so now we have come around. Go ahead and make our connection. Put her back into the mount. So now you see the wire floating around the outside, so it runs all the way around the outside and in, so the window does not interfere with it. So now we'll make our connection. So we're basically just putting the rod back into the eye loop and turning the lock downward to clip it in. All right. Okay, so everything's in and tight, fastened. We'll go ahead and put our vapor barrier up. All right, so doing a handle, you want to make sure you're doing the job right. Nothing's out of the way. Once you close the door, you have no way to access this again. So this is a good time to stop. You want to check, make sure your functions are working correctly. You can do it with a screwdriver or something. You can simulate the door closing with your screwdriver. So now we're in. Now I can pull it back out. See, I can't pull against it until I open. So latched the same way with outside. So now we know when we close this door, we're not going to be stuck and something not put back or whatnot. We know it all functions correctly. So we'll go ahead and put the door panel on now. All Okay, so go ahead and make our connections again first. And we'll start with the lowers and work our way upward. Alright. Okay, so we just want to lift it up, and we want to set it on that lip again. Alright, so we can see we've lined the seal back up with the outer seal and the inner seal. So everything looks like we should be. There's our upper. And we'll go all the way around to the bottom. We'll clip everything in. And there we have it. We have finished our repair for the driver's door handle of this 2003 Hyundai Santa Fe.